Up and running? Recording? Who's all on our? Just a face. Unidentified. All present. Commissioners Lanier and myself, Williams. Executive Assistant Tiffany Tanner and Hill County Treasurer Andy. This is a public hearing to give notice and get public comment regarding the hours of the county offices shall be established from 8 to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, except Saturdays and legal holidays. Interested persons are encouraged to attend the hearing and give it any comment. Do we have any comment? Any public comment? Again, any public comment?
No, I just thought I better see if I was having to come at a new time or not. But if we were
You have
still,
somebody else up there.
it's 8 to 5 or something.
We have another person in. Beaver Park.
For me,
Beaver Creek Park. Danielle, is that you? Up, under Beaver Creek Park? Yes. Do you have comment on this, during this public hearing for the establishing the regular, meeting dates and hours for the county?
So how does that work for like the park? They supposed to have the same hours? When they reference offices, are they for county, they're just
County
for
offices.
specific offices that it's
Well,
referring to?
I think it is because they're under statute. Like,
is
for
it, all
example, the
offices?
treasurer's office, under their statute, they're mandated to be open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, but they have also an exception in their MCA for their, to be closed from 12 to 1 for their lunch. The other offices do not have that. That's why I kept going back to that emergency circumstance. That's where our policy and procedure comes in. Under their MCA statutes, they're mandated to be open, whether it's a natural emergency or not. Correct?
correct.
And so that's why I kept going back to that on that.
But when I'm talking about, that's not the part I'm talking about. I'm talking about when it says county offices, is that every office? Or is it just specific offices? Certain ones?
Yes. Cause you have your
Under the
mandated by
MCA
law
statute.
ones.
Yes. Under
Because
your,
what's very confusing to people is when it say offices, most people look at offices as everything within the county. And I don't believe it is that way.
no, because our road department, they run on 10-hour shifts. They're not mandated to be open certain hours.
But back to that emergency part, our county attorney had no problem with that being in there.
When I reached out to Mako, she was confused why it wasn't there and sent us another resolution from another county that addresses it under their policy procedure of their county.
Well, the stuff I got from Ashley Kent the other day is the way some things are, even in certain counties now, may not be accurate, not ours, but
But this is specifically saying, with the exception of emergency circumstances or to meet the needs of a department as authorized by the chair. The chair doesn't have any authorization over another department. There's issue with how this is wrote, but I don't know. We do not, as a commission, have authorization over another department to tell them they can be closed when they are by state law supposed to be open under their MCA statute.
again, our county attorney had no issue with that statement in there.
She said she rewrote it. I didn't hear her say she had an issue with it. She just said that she
Rewrote it. and then
Wrote
that
it,
was put in
so-
there was what was rewritten.
I don't know.
I really don't know.
I
They
don't know.
always said only the governor can shut us down. I don't have any idea.
I am just seeing this for the first time today, this highlighted part. So I don't know
We have-
what Lacey put in there.
It's been discussed in several working sessions. It's been passed around. I've had that since December. We've been talking about
When
it.
Lacey came in here the last time, it was handed to you. I never did see it. This is the first time I'm stating I'm seeing this right now. This is the wording I'm seeing now.
Wasn't it over here?
I don't know, but we've been through this for a month and
We went
it's to
back
be
and forth
voted
on it
on
many
tomorrow.
times. I don't even feel it should be in there. It's never been in there before. All of a sudden it's in there.
Things happen and things change. Just because it happened and was right one time doesn't mean things can't be adjusted.
And that's why our policies and procedures address those things. Us as commissioners do not have the authorization to shut a department down when they're under MCA statute to be open certain hours. You're saying that we have the right to go and tell the justice of peace to be closed, her court to be closed?
I think it
No,
was an
we don't.
emergency situation of a lockdown situation of an active shooter is what was discussed. In that
That's where your
particular
policies and
situation.
procedures come in.
Well,
So
that's
also-
why it was added was that particular reason.
We still have no authorization to shut her office down.
So our policies, and procedures could override resolutions.
It would address a situation like that, but we can't go in and override any other department. I think it should be taken out of there.
So what do you do in a situation when two commissioners want it in there and one does not?
Oh, we're not motioning on this today. We're just here for
No,
public
but
comment.
it's tomorrow and I have to have it ready tomorrow. And we've had it for over a month. We've been discussing this, so I need to know an answer so I can get it typed up.
We
Jake
do two,
and
one.
Bill wanted it left in there. You do not, so I just need an answer.
Yeah,
Can you do them with and one without?
yeah. Who wanted it in there? Why was it put in there all of a sudden?
It was because we had a potential situation and there was a discussion about it. Potential situation that was gonna, didn't know if it's gonna happen, but there were some comments made and so then that spurred conversations.
If our policy says under a potential lockdown, we're all on lockdown, we're still participating, we're still open, we're still in our offices. We're not, as
Did you find
commissioners,
it?
given authority to shut down someone else's office that's mandated to be open.
We didn't see anything in the policy regarding a lockdown.
Then why is this in here? I don't.
That's why,
understand.
because it wasn't in, it
But
didn't say
it's not
anything about it.
specifying it's for a lockdown, it's saying emergency circumstances, so that could be very broad.
That was the point, to keep it broad.
Right.
I do know that when we were supposedly locked down, we had to let people in that could come in. We
Right.
couldn't close.
Right.
That's exactly it. Nobody knew what to do in this situation and there was nothing in the
No,
policy.
this was,
What was that?
like 3 years ago.
No, I'm talking about about a month ago.
Yeah, well, I'm talking, you know, 'cause we were in an actual one then. You still had to let people in the door.
Right.
Someone had to be there and I couldn't.
Well, it's pretty sad though, when you don't have a policy and nobody knows what to do.
Well, I think that we had that on that active shooter training.
That's way before I was ever here.
I understand, that's what I brought up, and I understand. But it was all in there.
Was there a policy at one time then? I didn't see it in there.
We have never been able to unless the governor closes.
No, I mean, do we have a policy in there about an active shooter or anything like that?
That was how it was, and when they put us on lockdown, this was years ago, yes, we still had to
Right.
remain.
So my suggestion would be is we need to move forward and develop a policy, I guess. That's what we need to do.
Because at no time can some of us be closed. And that's why, unless it's been, I mean, the state shut me down, but that was because, and it went through, they had did it.
So you're telling me if there's an active shooter situation, you have to remain open and let people in here?
I have to remain open, yes, and that is exactly what happened before. When we had.
Does that seem right to you?
when
Yes and
we
no.
had-
What you would do is you'd have the doors locked and then you would let people, you would limit the people that come in, it just wouldn't be wide open.
Correct, and when we had an actual situation, because we've been through this. That is what happened.
You let people in?
We had,
Yeah.
And us as commissioners and the chair have no authority to tell someone's office that's mandated to stay open by state law that it can be closed.
But we could close the front doors and lock the doors and then limit people as they come in.
That's why I say this I don't understand why this is in there, especially when you're citing the
But
statutes
you
that are
keep
in
saying I
there.
don't understand why it's in there. We told you why.
It
So-
doesn't need to be in there then, if you want to be more specific of
Okay,
why,
but that's
I don't
what we
think it
need
should
to.
be
We
in
need to
there. I
stop
don't know why it
talking
keeps being
about why-
argued that it needs to be in there.
Because you were the only one that said no. The other two said yes. That's why it's still in there.
Because I keep bringing up the same point, and I'm not the only one. Sandy is even saying it too.
Well,
It doesn't need to be.
I
in there.
don't care.
And
I just
I'm
need to be
simply
told
saying-
which way.
bringing up. Our past, what we had to do, and that was we had a shooter at large in town.
Well, I definitely didn't like that we had no direction what to do a month ago when this happened. Nobody knew what to do. So I think that's a problem.
We need to establish a policy.
And that was. The active shooter, so maybe the suggestion should be to bring back. And do for
And that's why this suggestion was made.
everybody that's new. And never did it to learn the active shooter, because they came in and did the situation. We had the training.
And Stan has said many times, we'll come in and do active shooting training. That's smart. I just don't think it has a place in this resolution.
So, I mean, I can't tell you, I'm only going off past, I'm not gonna tell you what to do. I am saying that I would not allow
As of
it.
right now, I think we could just have one with and one without it.
And I am saying that the governor was the only one that we've told that can honestly shut us down. Which he really doesn't care.
Any other public comment? Entertain a motion to adjourn.
Wait, don't we have to establish the business meeting time and date?
That we do tomorrow on the resolution during our business meeting. This is just for public comment of anyone that has a discrepancy of the time and date.
To discuss the time and date of your commissioner business meetings. And then, once it's decided today, then I put it in the resolution. Because it literally states in the resolution that you are supposed to be signing tomorrow. When your business
We
meeting.
have a
We have-
discussion on it.
we have
We can
to-
always amend that.
Yeah.
That can be changed.
But
until it's signed.
But if we discuss it now, then
Done
we
many
maybe,
times.
if we discuss
I
it,
thought the whole point of today's meeting was to discuss what day and time your business meetings are. It is then put into the resolution that is dated tomorrow.
right,
This isn't a meeting. This is a notice of a public hearing for the public to come in and comment on this resolution. Said that 3 times now.
but it's also too, I thought to discuss the for the public comment for the hours.
So how do you have a resolution ready to sign tomorrow when you don't have a discussion on when your meetings are gonna be? What am I supposed to put in the resolution that you're signing tomorrow?
Are they changing?
It should
I
be
don't
brought
know.
up in a working session. If
What?
there's a discrepancy.
We've been
Didn't know there
talking about
was.
it for a month. What,
Tiffany, I didn't know there was. I thought whatever you have in there is what we're gonna bring to the
It was
business
in the
meeting. So I don't
email.
understand why you keep asking me that.
because
I
the
don't think you've been reading all the emails.
I
The
have to. I read them all the
resolution
time.
states your date and time, the day of your meeting and the time. This
I have it right
resolution
here.
gets signed
Wednesday
tomorrow.
at 2.
So if
What's the issue then?
it's not Wednesday at 2, your meetings are Thursdays at 10. It's highlighted there. Because we discussed Wednesdays at 2, but nothing has been decided. So is that what you want me to put?
That's what our business meeting is for, is to establish that. Apparently it's in here for Wednesday at 2.
Okay,
If we
so that's
agree
what
on,
we're
then it
looking.
would get signed.
Oh, I thought they were.
Am I
changing Thursday.
misunderstanding something?
Yes,
Am I
the Wednesday-
misunderstanding something?
yes, the
What?
Wednesday at 2 was just discussed. It was not decided. So that's why I'm asking. I literally put it in there as a placeholder. It's just a placeholder. I was waiting for you guys to have this meeting today to tell me what to put
Discuss.
in there.
Yeah, the idea was for us to discuss that.
Yeah.
And
That's not what this public hearing is about, though. It's not a meeting on that. We should have been talking about that in,
Well, you guys have-
Session.
Okay.
I didn't know your business was changing.
And I
Did I
thought it
remember?
was established Wednesday at 2. Was going forward with it. It's in the resolution.
but we've had a lot of good discussion and never really settled on anything. That was part of what I thought this meeting was about, was for us to have more of a discussion on that. Is that what we want to move forward with tomorrow? And to get
That's not
input
what this
from
meeting
others.
is. This is a public hearing.
A public hearing to
is
get
different
input.
than a meeting on a discussion on a resolution. Am I wrong? Please tell me if I'm wrong. I've been through many notices of public
Then when
hearings.
you sent out the email that said this is to discuss the commissioner's business meeting and time and date, why didn't anybody say anything?
I don't know, Tiffany, I can't answer that.
But you got that
We
email.
got a lot going on right now. I don't know, I've mentioned many times, this shouldn't be in there, but it keeps popping up in there and it's highlighted again. So I think it's open for discussion in our business.
that's why
meeting.
it's
That's what
highlighted.
our business meetings are for.
The only thing I asked about is, because I can't remember, and I just read one lot yesterday from a ways ago. Does that have to stay in here that they have the opportunity to close from 12 to 1? I don't,
No, it does not.
because that was one of the offices on there. I only asked that because it says it in there. So is that required? I don't know. I don't know what the past ones look like.
Don't
It is
ask.
not required, Sandy. That's the first time.
The 12 to 1?
Yeah, you go back and look at all the past resolutions. That has never been in there.
I just asked if it had to,
So-
I had no idea. I seen one yesterday, but, I don't have any, I'm only asking. If it's a requirement because it sits in MCA for the 12 to 1, and so if it's a requirement
Next item.
because of the fact that those hours are in that.
And when I reached out to Mackenzie, she responded back that it was confusing and it's not under the MCA statute that's being quoted.
You're talking about two different things. She's talking about the 1 to, or 12 to 1. You're talking about the emergency.
You're talking about the
You're talking
date
about
and the
both.
time of the meetings?
No, the 12 to 1 on those business hours, does that have to be listed in your resolution for the 12 to 1, that's a possibility to do that?
Some counties do list
I do.
every department and their
I don't think,
hours.
I guess if it's in statute, we don't need to have anything in the resolution.
I mean,
Well, yeah.
because I don't, I don't. I don't know. You don't have to though.
So on Friday, Tiffany sent out this email. Please note a couple of important items. Working session will take place in the Timmins Room on Monday. Anticipate a large crowd, and then there will be a public hearing on Wednesday, January 7th, 2026 at 10 a.m. to hear any concerns regarding establishing hours for the transaction of business for the 26th calendar year. More specifically, discuss potential new time and date for the commissioner business meetings. So that's why there is the thought that that's what we are going to be discussing today.
So is there a misunderstanding on changing it to Wednesdays at 2, or because it is currently Thursdays at 10?
Right, and then even the other day there toward the at the end of our meeting, kind of came up down in the Timmins room about keeping it at 10. And
I said
so
that.
that was the discussion. So we talked about Wednesday at 2, and then there's discussion of keeping it. So that's why the idea would be nice to have it on our discussion today. And part of the reason to change it was so that you wouldn't have that conflict going out to the meetings.
Keep it at Thursday.
Keep it Thursday at 10. I've been saying that. But you guys do whatever you
Last
want.
year you
So
wanted it
why do you
changed.
want my discussion? Why do you want it today when I've said it now how many times and you still argue
And
it? So what does it matter? My
can I
opinion doesn't
finish? Can I
matter.
finish?
It doesn't
You
matter
keep
what I
interrupting
say
me.
because you keep bringing it back to that. So if you want it changed to that, then put it on there and move
Last
forward.
year, you are wanting us to change it, look at changing it. So now we look at change it. Now you're saying keep it.
It doesn't matter what I say, Bill, you're gonna argue it. That's my whole point. A year ago, when we were trying to get it changed, you didn't want it until the time you wanted to sit down and discuss it. That's this year. Now it's starting to become a problem that time because of our other meetings that are scheduled, so keep it at 10 at Thursday. It's been working. I don't know what the issue is. You're the one that wants to change it. You're the one that brought it up.
I brought it up
Changing
because
again.
there was,
So what's the issue?
It was brought up in the middle of the year last year and the resolution was already done. So
It was
we
brought up the
going-
prior
Wait,
year.
I was talking.
It was brought up the prior year. It's been brought up every single year for 2 years.
you get mad when people interrupt you, but you've interrupted how many
Okay,
times
meeting's
today?
adjourned. We're done.
Probably 2023.
Well, this is the survey